Hello, I'm Sam.
I'm Addie.
And I'm Josh.
And welcome back again to those that have played before. As ever, we've got some great guests and some great questions in store tonight.
Most of you are going to know the drill by now, but tonight there are 6 rounds, 10 questions each. We're starting with sport and we're ending with theatre and literature, featuring some stars of the films. There'll be a 2-minute break after the second and fourth round, so you can plan your drinks around that.
As always, let's get lots of activity in the comments tonight, as we really don't want to see Theo Pepper complaining about a lack of activity again.
Although we've not heard from him yet tonight, so who knows if he's actually on, but we'll see.
And also, following our completely seamless performance last week with the scores, we've got it again this week. If you want to take part, there's a link in the description, and just click the one for answer form 1. Should be pretty intuitive, but the main thing is to remember is that your team name needs to be absolutely identical each 3 times you submit it, and that includes spaces after the team name. If you have a space in the team name when you didn't the first time round, it's not going to get counted in the total scores. A lot of people did that last week. If you've got more questions, you can also ask them in the comments, and I'll be over there to respond.
So after our first break, as always, Addie will give us the lowdown on how you're doing and who is in the lead, and we'll do the same after the second break and of course at the end.
We will. Most of you will be sick of hearing this and know exactly how it works, but for the benefit of those who are new, especially those who are new to live scoring, when you're answering questions on the Google form, which as we said is in the description, there'll almost always be 1 or 2 word answers, so keep it simple. Don't throw in any random sentences, punctuation or capital letters. So for what does the E stand for in base, for example, you just want to type Earth, not I think it is Earth or Earth ? As a reference to last week, as you won't get any points for that. Google Forms isn't perfect, but we've tried to provide for the most obvious misspellings. And finally, there's absolutely no prizes up for grabs tonight, so please don't Google the answers. You're better than that.
So overall, we've raised more than £6,000, including gift aid, which is still crazy to us. Yeah. We plan to keep the donations open as long as we're running the quiz, and we hope that you'll continue to donate if you're able to.
As always, I'm manning the scores in the chat, so I'll see you guys in a couple rounds' time.
Okay.
And with that, let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking indeed. Here are your rounds, which you should be able to see now. So first round, we've got sport.
Then we've got a special Deadly 60 round, which I can guess you think you know who the celebrity is on that. Bottled that delivery.
Absolutely.
Carry on.
Round 3. After a 2-minute break, round 3 is going to be the USA.
Then name that movie, which is a picture round.
That is raffle. Then we're going to have a break again. Then we're going to go round 5, which is general knowledge.
Then finally, theatre and literature.
That's what we're bringing it home with. Okay, so without further ado, get your answer forms ready on the Google form if you're using it. Otherwise, get pen and paper ready. Round 1 is sport. So Josh, take it away with the first question.
Question numero uno is: since 1826, Coopers Hill has hosted the annual cheese rolling championships. Which British city is this in?
Getting off to a very UK-focused start. Apologies to those playing across the Atlantic. This could be a struggle.
So, cheese rolling is a sport where people hurl themselves down a hill in hopes of getting a wheel of cheese.
Theo Pepper, the chat god, has made himself known, which is good. Okay, fresh chop from Josh this week? Sadly not.
Sadly not.
Your second question after cheese rolling is: which major European country recently became the first to announce that its top flight football league was to resume playing matches this month?
So they're going to be playing behind closed doors, no fans. So
a lot of leagues have cancelled, but this one is going ahead. You probably read about it in the news. We just need the country, not the league, please. Okay.
Question 3
is
a celebrity question. So this woman needs no introduction. Very recognisable. Roll the clip.
Hello everyone, I hope you're enjoying the quiz so far. Here's my question. Which female American tennis player played against Bobby Riggs in the Battle of the Sexes in 1973? And she's my hero. Good luck and donate if you can.
So that was, of course, Judi Murray, the mother of Jamie and Andy Murray. She's a British tennis coach from Scotland. and has won 64 titles. She's also been awarded an OBE and went on Strictly Come Dancing and was Anton Dubek's partner.
Can see her there in the bottom left. Don't know what dance she's doing, but
Yeah.
looking good. And her question was, who won the Battle of the Sexes match? I am so conscious of giving away the answers like I did last week. Okay, question 4. Old Trafford, Edgbaston, I don't know if that's how you say it, and Trent Bridge all play host to matches in which sport?
3 pretty famous sporting venues there.
In the UK, again. What sport are they for?
But as we said, we will be compensating for the UK with a USA round. So
We've got Woolet making himself known in the chat for the first time. Great to see. And Frank's back.
yeah,
Love it.
calling for some Susan Boyle.
Okay, maybe next week. Wouldn't want to spoil anything, but maybe next week. Okay.
Question 5. The Last Dance became the most watched TV programme of 2020 this week. Which all-time great NBA team does it document?
This one's definitely going to favour the Americans a little bit
The
more.
other side of the pond.
Yeah. So it actually overtook Tiger King this week, which is some feat.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm. Which NBA team was it documenting? Okay, question 6 of the sports round. A move called a jackknife is commonly performed in which sport? So there you have it. Has Benedict been on yet? Not yet. Not yet.
Ned, you're going to want to put the answers on your Google form, not in the chat, by the way. So,
Although that answer's not looking great for
yeah.
that question. Okay. I'll tell you this one.
Yeah.
The second special guest question of the sports round is coming to you from another man who needs no introduction, so take it away.
Hi everyone, Matt Dawson here. I hope you're all enjoying the Big Quarantine quiz so far. My question to you is, this year the Six Nations was halted after 4 games, with England at the top of the table. Which country was second? Okay, best of luck and please donate if you can.
So that was, of course, Matt Dawson, retired rugby union player who played scrum half for Northampton Saints and London Wasps. He also won more than 70 caps for the England rugby team and won the World Cup in 2003. He actually threw the pass to Johnny Wilkinson, who scored the winning drop goal in that match. So
Theoretically, without him, they wouldn't have won.
exactly. He's also, perhaps you might know him better even, for being one of the team captains on Question Sport for more than 15 years as well. He's actually been popping up on people's Zoom quizzes, so if you're looking for a new guest for your next Zoom quiz, he might be your man. And he wanted to know who finished second in the Six Nations after England when it was postponed.
Going to question 8, which is a picture question. Who is this famous Olympic athlete? Very recognisable face, this.
An iconic athlete.
Yeah.
There you go. That's your first picture question. The penultimate question of the sports round. Lewis Hamilton was crowned the World F1 champion in both 2018 and 2019. Which team was he racing for? And with this answer, you might know the really detailed answer for this one. Just keep it simple, as ever, on the Google form.
And going to our final question of the round. What sport is being played here? Another picture question for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely one of the more niche sports, you'd have to say.
May have given you a few hints last week to
We
this
might
one.
have. Okay, so if you missed anything, we should have a review coming up. Yes, we do. Get in.
We, as always, we will be rattling through them for any you didn't get.
Before moving on to round 2, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Question 1. We want to know which UK city hosts the annual cheese rolling championships.
Question 2. Which major European country announced it was to resume matches in its top flight football league this month?
Judy Murray wanted to know which female player won the Battle of the Sexes tennis match in 1973.
Question 4. Old Trafford, Edgbaston and Trent Bridge all hosted matches in which sport? That should say matches.
Question 5. Which NBA team does The Last Dance TV show document?
Question 6. A move called a jackknife is commonly performed in which sport?
Question 7. Which country was second in the Six Nations when it was halted this year?
Question 8. Who is the famous Olympic athlete in the top right of your screen?
We want to know the simple answer for which Formula 1 team does Lewis Hamilton race for?
And finally, in the bottom right is a fairly niche sport. We want to know which sport it is. Give you a few more moments on that before moving on to round 2.
Yeah. Remember, we'll do the answers at the end of the second
We
round.
will. So you can, if you're jotting down anything that you've missed, you can revisit those answers before hitting the submit button. I would not recommend pressing the submit button just yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to round 2.
Indeed.
Which is our Deadly 60 special round.
Not officially sponsored, sadly,
Yeah.
but it is a Deadly 60 round, nonetheless.
One of my favourite shows as a child. Or even now.
Okay.
Question 1. Which animal causes more deaths each year than any other?
The answer may surprise you, so think hard about this one. That is a thinker. I definitely think
really
we need to
is.
give him a bit longer on that one. Moving on. Question 2. In 2016, which gorilla was shot and killed at Cincinnati Zoo after grabbing a young boy that had climbed into his enclosure?
Massive news story this one was.
Mm-hmm.
Completely viral. For some of you, that'll be unbelievably
Some of that'll be
easy.
instant. Some
But
of
if you don't know,
have
you don't
no
know
idea.
it. Going to question 3, which, as always, is our celebrity question.
I forgot. Fair
Yeah.
play.
So this man again needs no introduction. Roll the clip.
Hello you all, my name's Steve Backshaw. Welcome to the Big Quarantine Quiz. I really hope you're enjoying yourselves. This is my first question for you. This is the skull of the world's biggest lizard. It comes from Indonesia. But have you got any idea what it might be?
So that was my childhood hero, Steve Backshaw. He is a BAFTA-winning naturalist, writer and TV presenter, best known for the Deadly 60, of which this is the round. And his question was one of 2. I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, fair.
There you go.
He had a skull. He wanted to know which animal it belongs to. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, anyway. And that might not be the last time you see him this round, so stay tuned for that. And we got some love from Ellie in the chat for Deadly 60 as well. Good to see.
You love it. You love it.
Okay.
Question 4. The big 5 animals are considered the most dangerous animals in Africa to hunt on foot. They are lions, leopards, rhinos, elephants, and we want you to fill in the blank.
If that wasn't immediately clear from the question. Don't need to be too specific. No specific subspecies or anything like that, just type of animal. And it can be singular or plural. Take your pick.
That it can.
There you go. Those are the animals people also most want to see on safari, obviously. And question 5 is another picture question. So you'll have an animal on screen now. And again, we want to know which animal this is.
Maybe one of the lesser known big cats.
Perhaps. And again, just keep your answers as simple as possible. That's the last time I'm going to say that. It's probably not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Me too.
Yeah,
That's
good.
Okay.
Question 6. What is the only venomous snake native to the UK?
Classic fact.
Steve Backshaw actually got bitten by one of these.
Mm-hmm.
God.
So if you're really on it with your Steve Backshaw trivia, that's just giving you the answer. Spent 3 days in hospital after this, actually.
And it roams around the UK. You couldn't write it.
Does it? Okay, and again, question 7. We're taking it back to Mr. Steve Backshaw.
Next question. With the possible exception of the vampire bat, this has the sharpest teeth of any vertebrate on the planet. But what kind of fish is this?
So thank you for that again, Steve. He was actually very up for doing this quiz, which was really nice. He came up with his own questions, as you could probably tell. So big thanks to him. And he wanted to know what that particular animal was. So there you have it. Okay, 3 questions before we take a break.
Question 8. What is the largest land-based predator in Australia?
Solely land-based, this one. Spends all his time on land. There you go.
If you couldn't get that from the question.
Yeah, but there's some debate about animals that spend time in water.
Yeah, so
There's debate, all right? Okay. The second last question. In the film The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio suffers injuries from which predator? Very famous scene, this one.
Pretty gruesome injuries by the look of that picture, but...
So there you go. You can tell everyone about the method acting if you want, Josh.
You know what? I will. So
Please do.
Unlike many actors, Leonardo DiCaprio really wanted to get in the role for this one. So he went to live in a cabin and ate bison and slept in animal carcasses.
There you have it.
So really
moving on to question
really
10.
taking acting to another level.
Okay, I think we're done now, Josh. Last question. Which deadly 5 centimetre long animal has made its way from Asia to the UK and North America, sparking recent concern amongst scientists? You've probably read about this in the news very recently. Pretty scary stuff.
Terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I so nearly gave the answer away.
Great banter tonight.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, we're providing it. Comments less so. You could work on that, but we'll see. Okay, and now coming up is the Deadly 60 special round review. If you missed anything, we're going to give you the questions one more time. So, Josh.
We want to know what animal causes the most deaths each year.
The second question, which gorilla was shot at Cincinnati Zoo in 2016?
Steve Backshall wants to know what is the world's biggest lizard.
Seen there in the top right. Question 4, the big 5 animals are lions, leopards, rhinos, elephants, and what?
Question 5, what animal is pictured in the middle?
Question 6, what is the only venomous snake native to the UK?
Question 7, which animal has the sharpest teeth of any vertebrate?
Question 8, what is the largest land-based predator in Australia?
In The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio suffers injuries from which predator?
And finally, which deadly 5 centimetre long animal has recently made its way from Asia to the UK and North America? So there you have it. We'll give you a few more moments on those questions. Okay. And as ever, if you're new to this, Josh is going to ring the bell in a second that happens every week.
Every time.
To signal that you need to press submit. So we'll give you a few more seconds to hit submit on the answer form 1 on the Google form. And when Josh rings the bell, if you haven't pressed submit, your answers are not going to count. Make a note of your team name as well, although a lot of you will have already submitted. Josh.
There we are.
Okay.
Good.
So make sure you've hit the submit button. We will be giving you the scores on the doors very shortly. But for now, we're going to rattle through the answers. So, Josh.
Question 1 of round 1 was Gloucester, actually.
Mm-hmm.
They were 650 feet long.
Fascinating.
They absolutely
Fascinating.
throw themselves down.
Question 2, the answer was Germany. The Bundesliga football league is to resume behind closed doors.
Question 3, the answer was Billie Jean King. This turned into a movie starring Emma Stone and Steve Carell called Battle of the Sexes.
You did. Question 4, your answer was cricket. Lords and the Oval, perhaps a bit more famous, but those three are all famous cricket grounds.
Old Trafford might have thrown you off, seeing as it is a football stadium.
And Rugby League, I think.
And Rugby League.
Question 5, your answer was the Chicago Bulls. The Last Dance documents their 97-98 season, one of the greatest sports teams of all time. They were. But Michael Jordan is nothing without Scottie Pippen, as you'll find out if you watch the documentary.
And I will be. Question 6. The answer was diving. I'm assuming you can see a jackknife being performed in that picture.
I could confirm they can. Question 7. France were second in the Six Nations. They were actually level with England on 13 points and beat England in the opening match of the Six Nations this year.
Gutting, that was.
That was Matt Dawson's question.
Question 8. The answer was Eddie the Eagle.
Of course.
He competed in 1988 in the Calgary Olympics and was the first competitor since 1928 to represent Great Britain in Olympic ski jumping.
There you go. Question 9. The answer was Mercedes. It's actually Mercedes AMG Petronas, if you're being very smart. But Mercedes will have been fine. And the last question. Answer.
Final answer is Quidditch. Maybe hinted with our Harry Potter round.
There you go.
Last week.
Played by thousands around the globe. Okay. First answer of the second round is the mosquito. A lot of people might be kicking themselves. The mosquito actually kills more than 1 million people every year, mostly through malaria. There you go. Question 2, answer.
Question 2, the answer is Harambe. This was inspired lots of memes that went viral. And yeah.
Okay, question 3. We'll let Steve Baxwell actually tell you the answer to this one, which is the third one.
This is the skull of the Komodo dragon, the largest lizard on the planet. The males can get up to 3 meters in length and weigh about 3 times my body weight.
Okay, so there you have it. It was the Komodo dragon.
It was.
And moving on.
This was the Cape Buffalo. Actually pretty aggressive.
You didn't have to write Cape Buffalo. Buffalo would have been fine. Or indeed buffaloes. Even though I'm pretty sure it's just buffalo still. It's a plural, but anyway. Question 5. The answer was a lynx found in North America and can smell
a mouse from 250 feet.
It can.
God, it's like one mind. It really is.
Yeah. We finished each other's
sentences.
Yeah. Answer 6. The only venomous snake native to the UK is the adder. And answer 7 is coming to you from
Stevie B.
And the answer is, it's a piranha. If you're really, really smart, it's actually a red-bellied piranha. But you know what? I'll give it to you either way.
Fantastic comment coming in from Theo Pepper, probably the best comment of the evening so far. Have a look at that. Very funny. The eighth answer is a dingo. So there you go. We should rattle through these.
Yep. Question 9. The answer is a grizzly bear. There you can see Leo being attacked.
That's probably the most memorable scene from the movie. He won Oscar for Best Actor, actually, for this one, at the 7th time of asking. So there you go. And finally, the 10th answer is murder hornets. I think we were taking a number of hornets-related answers, like giant hornets and killer hornets, but murder hornets is the one you're looking for. Okay, right. We are going to take a short break now before revealing what the scores are looking like. Just a reminder, this is all for a great cause. So any donations are more than welcome. The link to donate is right underneath this. If you haven't donated before, that would be amazing. Or even if you have, that would be fantastic too. Perhaps think of this as just a normal pub quiz, and a $5, as you would at a normal pub, would be gratefully received, I'm sure, and go to a great cause too. But we will now take a 2-minute break and see you very shortly. And now we're off mute. Okay, we had a bit of a technical difficulty there, but
Clearly.
we should now have the scores, which are going to be presented to you by Adele.
Hi. I'm back. Yeah, so Dad, if you want to just, thank you. So the average score for that round was just over 13 points, with the highest score of 20 and the lowest score of 7. This is the general how people did. I never know what to say about this. Only 2% of players got 19 to 20. Good job to that 2%.
You couldn't write it.
And I'm pretty sure I know what that 2% is. That 2% is Addy's Amigos.
Wow.
So
Wow.
good job, guys.
I smell bias.
I smell Google.
There's
I
no
smell
bias.
Google. That's
Yeah.
what I smell.
There's no bias. To my knowledge, that is a group of people on FaceTime who are all working together, which is not against the rules.
It's not.
So, good job. A couple honourable mentions to some teams. Dad, if you could just turn the screen off. Yeah? Just to me.
Oh.
Thanks. So, Embassy number 10. Just as a warning, you ended all your answers with full stops, which meant that originally they didn't count. Because you were the only
Classic.
one that did it, I was able to catch it and change it, but future, I might not be able to do that. And also, just as a warning, some people have punctuation and capital letters in their team name. Be careful. And La Poubelle, you guys have...
I know exactly who that is.
You have started your team name with a space. From now on, you need to also start your team name with a space, otherwise you won't be counted. Anyways,
You heard
Those
it
are
here
all my
first.
notes.
This is very observant. Okay.
thank you. All right, bye.
All right, we'll see you in about 15 minutes. Moving on.
Swiftly to round 3, which is the USA, which hopefully should favour our friends across the pond.
Yes, it should. Compensating,
Yeah.
perhaps, for previous weeks.
We're getting some Fs in the chat.
Yeah. For Cookie, whoever that is. Okay, Josh.
Question 1. What is the second most spoken language in the USA after English?
Pretty easy one, I think, to kick off. Potentially. Okay, Theo has a question which hopefully Addy will be responding to as we speak.
Dad's laptop is not working, but yes.
Question 2. Question 2. Alcatraz, arguably the world's most famous prison, lies off the coast of which US city? You can see it there, Alcatraz Island.
Home to some pretty famous prisons over the year.
2 kilometres off the coast it is, if that helps.
Probably doesn't.
Doubt as well.
Question 3 is a celebrity question.
It is.
As always. So this woman needs, again, no introduction. So take it away.
Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the big quarantine quiz so far. My question is, which legendary American singer holds the record for the most UK #1 singles ever? Good luck. Have a great evening.
Apologies if some people think the questions are quite difficult, although we did have people getting 20 on the last round, so could be a you problem. Okay,
We've had word from them that there was no Google involved.
good. Emeli Sande, that was, a British singer-songwriter from Sunderland. She's twice won the award for Best Female Solo Artist at the Brits and has performed at a number of prestigious places, including both the opening and closing ceremonies of the London 2012 Olympics to billions and also the White House. So a big thank you to her for submitting that question. And she wanted to know which American singer has the most UK #1 singles.
Actually did. Question 4 is a choice question. What proportion of Americans have been employed by McDonald's in the past? A, 1 in 5, B, 1 in 8, or C, 1 in 15?
Pretty astonishing stuff, regardless of which one it is, but there you have it. Choice of 3, and please just write the letter in your answer form.
That's not all at once, by the way. That's throughout time.
What? Oh, right, yeah. So, who's been employed by McDonald's in their lifetime? Yeah. The fifth question. In 2013, Nick Wallenda became the first person to tightrope over which famous American site? There you go. Pretty daring feat.
Terrifying, that.
And your sixth question.
Representing each of the original colonies, how many stripes are there on the American flag?
Could be a guessing job.
Yeah.
Although
You could do a pretty educated guess with that, though.
yeah. The Americans out there will probably know this one, potentially. Should also say one team name was Ainsley Harriet last round, so if you are out there playing, a huge shout out to you.
Going to question 7, which is another celebrity question. Take it away.
Woo! Hello, everybody. I hope that you are enjoying the quarantine quiz so far. My question for you is this. In what American city do they dye the river green for St. Patrick's Day every year? In what American city do they dye the river green for St. Patrick's Day? I don't know why I was given this question. I could actually give out questions about any day of the year, but there you have it.
That was Irish actress, writer and comedian Aisling B. You can see her there on screen in the bottom right. That's her with Paul Rudd, her co-star on Living With Yourself, which was a Netflix series that's come out recently. And she also had her own episode on the Comedy Lineup on Netflix as well. And perhaps she's best known for being a regular guest on a number of panel shows in Britain, including QI, The Last Leg, 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, and A League of Their Own, to name a few. So big thank you to Aisling there, and she wanted to know which US city dyes the river green each year. I'm pretty sure she slated my question choice in the video too, so thank you for that.
Question 8. Which president was the first to occupy the White House?
Historical one there.
Yeah, really is.
A lot of love for Addie's database skills as well coming in. From the Blakesleys as well. Shout out to them. And also shout out to Maple Pink, the puppy, if you're watching as well.
Question 9. Which famous American was born as Norma Jean Mortenson?
Extraordinarily famous person, this one.
There you go. Don't give them too much of a hint.
And finally, the 10th question of the USA round is a bit of a thinker. What is the only US state that ends with the letter K?
This is a real thinker, this one.
Sadly, we're not going to give you that long to think about it.
I don't know, let's give them a little bit longer. Treat them.
That'll do. That'll do. There is a review. You can keep thinking about it. It's at the bottom of your screen. And we will quickly rattle through the questions for round 3 before moving on to round 4.
That we will. So, question 1, we want to know the second most spoken language in the USA after English.
Alcatraz prison lies off the coast of which US city?
Which US singer holds the record for the most UK #1 singles?
Question 4 was, what proportion of Americans have been employed by McDonald's in their lifetime? Was it A, 1 in 5, B, 1 in 8, or C, 1 in 15? Remember, we just want the letter for that answer.
Question 5 was, in 2013, Nick Wallenda successfully walked a tightrope over which US site?
Question 6, how many stripes are there on the American flag?
Question 7, which US city dyes the river green each year for St. Patrick's Day? Fairly sure dyes is spelt wrong, but we'll work with it.
It is. That's the second error of my typing. That's what happens when you're the only one making the quiz. Question 8, which president was the first to occupy the White House? Question mark after that one.
Question 9, who was born as Norma Jean Mortenson?
And the final question, what is the only US state that ends with the letter K? If you haven't got that one yet, I'm sorry. And Oh, sorry, no, jump the gun there. God, we've got another
We've
round.
got a whole another round. God, we're really crawling through this.
Yeah. The fourth round and the second of the second set is name that movie, which is a picture round.
Shows famous pictures or scenes. Or
without the text. So
Yeah.
you'll see from this first question, which will be coming up now. This is the general gist. So that is a famous movie poster without any text. What is it?
There's not much to say about these ones without giving it away.
They kind of are what they are.
Yeah.
So there's the sun.
Or is it?
The second picture is there. Iconic movie. Iconic poster.
Amen to that.
The third question. There you have it.
Black and white, this one. Mixing it up a bit.
Could be indicative of the era in which it was produced. Don't want to give anything away, but
Maybe it could. Maybe it couldn't.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to throw them off.
Yeah.
Fourth question. There you have it.
What movie is that?
Very, very famous one.
Yeah.
That one. Sure, you've all got that one by now. So moving on to question 5. Definitely one for a different generation, perhaps.
Perhaps not.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
One for the kids out there and Frank.
Question 6. Maybe a harder one, this.
Potentially. What is there to say really here? Not a lot.
Nothing. Media silence.
Media silence in the comments as well.
Yeah.
So Sam Walsh addressing my Emilio howler. I don't know if people will notice that in the title of the video, but autocorrect can be a tough one sometimes. Should be fixed now. Should say Emeli. Okay, Josh.
Question 7. Again, not much to say.
So there you have it. Man in a spotlight. That's not the answer. The 8th picture. Probably the easiest one.
Yeah, you'd have to say.
And question 9. Slightly more recent one. In keeping with the USA theme, actually. And the final picture before we give them to you all again is there. What is that film? Remember, keep your answers simple. In general, lowercase is the best bet. Okay, and I will be pulling up a review of all those now.
That we will.
You can't really rattle through these, can you? So question
There
1
is
is in the
nothing-
top left.
Top middle is question 2.
We're not going to
No,
go
we're
that
not
way.
carrying.
Let's change of pace with the picture round, but it doesn't give us a whole lot to talk about. Will be a table round in an actual pub quiz. And I know you can't see us at the moment, Josh has just spilt his drink down his front.
We're all good.
Good? Good. Okay. Oh, we're on screen. Oh, wow.
Quality.
Just give you a few more moments on those. Remember, you can revisit the round 3 answers too, and do those too. And please make sure that, as ever, your team name matches the one that you submitted on your first form, if possible. There we go. I think Josh will be producing the bell.
That
He will. Off we go. Okay. Wow, we've really hit a bump on the road. Okay. So make sure you've submitted your second answer form for rounds 3 and 4, and that your team name is the same.
And we'll be moving swiftly on to the answers
Before letting you know how everyone's done.
after a quick break.
Don't
forget.
I mean, goes without saying by this
Yeah.
point.
So, the answer to round 3, the USA. Question 1, it was Spanish. There are 41 million native Spanish speakers in the US.
There you have it. Question 2 was San Francisco. As we said, it's 2 kilometres offshore of San Francisco and has been home to inmates including Al Capone and Machine Gun Kelly. Not the artist, the mobster.
Yeah. Question 3. The answer was Elvis Presley. That's what Emeli Sande wants to know.
How many singles has he got, Josh?
He has 21
Number
actually.
ones.
21 number ones. And then it goes the Beatles with 17. And Cliff Richard and Westlife have 14 each.
Who would have thought?
Westlife. That is a surprising one.
Question 4. Your answer was B, 1 in 8, which is a particularly damning statistic, I think, for the USA, but there you go.
Question 5. The answer was the Grand Canyon. Terrifying. But it's 1,500 feet. And it took him 22 minutes.
It did. He also tightroped across Niagara Falls the year before. So there's a nod to Canada, which we haven't had so far in this quiz.
Question 6. The answer was 13.
If you guessed that correctly, then fair play. Answer number 7 is Chicago. They've been doing that for more than 50 years. And it actually started by accident when plumbers used fluorescent dye to trace sources of pollution, I think, off the top of my head.
Wow. What a memory.
Okay.
Question 8. The answer was John Adams was the first to move into the White House. He was the president from 1797 to 1801.
Great knowledge.
Yeah, I know. This US history stuff really just comes naturally.
The 9th answer is Marilyn Monroe. Famously known as Norma Jean Mortenson. And finally,
final question. It's New York.
If you didn't get that, I'm sure you're kicking yourself now. Probably the most obvious state you could think of. We didn't get it. Okay, moving on to the picture round. That was The Lion King. Mum and Dad both thought it was Apocalypse Now. They thought wrong.
Pretty opposites end of the spectrum.
Answer 2
was Silence of the Lambs. This one.
There you go. Answer number 3 was Raging Bull. It was not filmed in black and white. I was throwing you off there. It's just for style. As Theo corrected me on. Go.
Question 4. The answer was Pulp Fiction. I know Jude Crawley has a t-shirt with this on.
Interesting. Answer number 5 was Happy Feet.
Answer number 6 was The King's Speech. Pretty obvious now you see it, but maybe didn't get it. And
starring Colin Firth. It's actually the same king, I believe, who spoke on VE Day. You might have watched that on TV a couple of days ago.
Question 7. It was The Exorcist.
It was. The 8th answer was Free Willy.
Seems like a pretty easy one, that. Question 9 was American Sniper. Maybe we gave you the answer to the American flag stripe question. Would that?
You'd have to look very carefully.
You really would.
And still not be able to see it. And the final answer of the second set is Interstellar, starring Matthew McConaughey. So there you have it. Those were your answers. And we will let you know who is in the lead on the total scores as well when we return after this break. And before we go, a quick shout out for all the mothers everywhere, but particularly in the US and Canada.
As it is Mother's Day.
And elsewhere, as it is Mother's Day.
So happy Mother's Day to all of you.
Shout out Grandma. And we'll see you in 2 minutes. And we're back.
Welcome back. So, as promised, we will be going through the scores and totals. And Addy, come onto the stage.
Hi again. Yeah, scores. Right, Dad, can you do that? Thank you. So that was a pretty good performance. It was a little bit higher than the last 2 rounds, but the highest score was 18 this time rather than 20, and the lowest score was 3. We're looking at who's at the top for that round in particular. The Sneaths and the Latyats, do we think? Have come in, and the Weevils have come in all in joint first place. So that's a really strong round.
Congrats. Team Rocket in 8th. Team Rocket actually won last week, didn't they? So
Yeah.
Fall from grace there.
Also, there's a little thank you to La Poubelle for keeping that space in front of your name. Very much appreciated. This is the general spread for who's doing what. Also, a little shout out to Granny and Grandad, who, although they got 4 points, they get full points for joining in. So,
round 5 and
amazing
6.
job.
Round 5 and 6, I think, will be more up your street.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And then this is the first time we're looking at the total scores. So Addy's Amigos are in first place with 37. Honda Refuse?
I guess so.
Identify yourselves in the comments. You have 35 points. The Latyats and the Weevils are in joint 34. And the Woolets Legends are in 5th place with 33. Do we know who the Latyats or the Woolets Legends are? Either? of you?
No, but the Weevils
I
are
do not.
Stephen, Sarah and Max, I believe.
Congrats, guys.
Big shift.
Yeah, so good job, everyone.
So there we go. Still very much all to play for with 2 rounds to go.
Yeah.
So
Also, Tara Matthews, I saw your comment. If you just send both your team names in the chat, I'll try and figure it out.
wow.
Bye!
Thanks for that.
Very on it. Okay,
Going to round 5,
we are.
which is general knowledge. The 5th round of the day. So, Sam, take it away with question 1.
Question 1 is, whose tweet recently wiped $13 billion off his company's value?
It's an easy mistake to make.
I hate when that happens.
Happens to everyone.
So whose tweet wiped $13 or $14 billion, depending on which news outlet you read, off his company's value?
Our second question. Which cheese is used to make tiramisu?
There you go. I do know Woolet. Yeah, I gave him a specific shout out at the start of the quiz, but anyway. Okay, the third question is another special celebrity quizzer question. So take it away.
Good evening, everyone, and I hope you're all having a fabulous quarantine quiz so far. Now, this is my question tonight. What is the only country whose flag is not four-sided? Best of luck, and please donate if you can. Thanks so much.
So that was the absolutely fabulous Joanna Lumley, actress,
It was.
comedian, author and activist. She is best known for Absolutely Fabulous alongside Jennifer Saunders. And she posed a question 2 weeks ago and just loved it, so she's back for more.
She is. Big thank you to Joanna Lumley, one of the first real supporters of this project via a cold email, so we really appreciate that.
Question 4. Wait, what does she want to know?
She wanted to know what the only flag that is not four-sided or quadrilateral, same thing, but what is the only country whose flag is not four-sided? That was question 3.
Question 4. Dame
Don't worry, I just said the wrong thing, but anyway, go.
Dame Judi Dench became the oldest person to star on the cover of which magazine this week?
At the age of 85.
Question 5. Okay, this is a dingbat. We had this in week 1, didn't we?
We've had it every week.
Have we?
Normally we've had it as question 10, but we're lumping it in the middle of this round because we've got another repeat question type for question 10. But there you go. Perhaps a little bit more simple than some of the ones that a couple of the ones that we've had so far.
Yeah.
There's just a one-word answer we're looking for. So there you go. That's great stuff. Mum just snorted. Question 6.
Question 6. Question 6. Which country consumes the most beer per person? By quite a long way, actually. This one might surprise you. So, real think long and hard about this.
Yeah, it really might surprise, actually. There you go. Good bit of trivia, that one. And the 7th question of the general knowledge round is coming to you from yet another special guest, so roll the tape.
It's Ainsley and I'm back again with another quiz question. Hope you're doing well this evening. And my question is, Empire, Cameo, Macintosh are all varieties of which type of food? That's Empire, Cameo and Macintosh are all varieties of which type of food? Good luck with the quiz.
So that was Ainsley Harriott, the chef, TV presenter and entertainer. He's presented Ready Steady Cook for more than 15 years on the BBC and has released a number of cookbooks. Frank, my good friend, thinks he's absolutely amazing, so shout out to him.
And shout out to him if he's watching and playing along as Team Ainsley Harriott as well.
Or is that actually him?
I doubt it.
Who knows?
I highly doubt it. I think it reeks of Ned. His question was Empire, Cameo and Macintosh, I'm like 99% that sure, are all types of which food? We made it.
Question 8. Which musical instrument appears on the Guinness beer label?
Probably seen this label quite a bit before. I know my friend Doyle has seen this label a lot.
Don't know, that's funny.
So yeah, which musical instrument is on the label or logo of Guinness? Stay Frank piping up with love for Ainsley, which is good.
He is so cheeky.
Okay. The second last question.
Question 9. A screwdriver cocktail is made of orange juice, ice, and which spirit? Yet another alcohol themed question, but
it's a Sunday. So just the spirit needed on the answer form for that one. And finally, your this week's tweet of the week, courtesy of our neighbour Alan. What type of bird is this? Again, just type of bird will do. Don't need the subtype or whatever.
Thanks again to Alan for sending in his weekly bird photo.
That was taken right over the top of our house.
Yeah,
probably.
Also, he says.
And if you miss anything, it should be on screen now. There you go.
Quick run through.
It'd be rude not to.
It would be so rude.
So rude.
Do you want to do question 1?
Sure, we'll mix it up.
Yeah.
Sure. Question 1. Whose tweet recently wiped $13 billion off of his company's value?
Which cheese is used to make tiramisu?
What is the only country whose flag is not four-sided?
Judi Dench became the oldest cover star of which magazine this week?
The 5th question. Which word does this dingbat represent? Remember, it's just one word. That's on the top right of the screen.
We also want to know which country consumes the most beer per person. That was question 6.
Question 7 came from our friend Ainsley Harriott. He wanted to know Empire, Cameo and Macintosh are all varieties of which type of food?
Question 8. Which musical instrument appears on the Guinness beer label?
Question 9. A screwdriver is made of orange juice, ice and which spirit?
Question 10 was from Alan, and we wanted to know what type of bird is this?
We did. And we'll be able to see if it's the real Ainsley Harriott if he gets that question right or not.
Yes, so true. So true.
Okay. The final round of questions is on theatre and literature.
That it is. So I will take it away with question 1.
Thank you.
No worries. Question 1. This week it was announced that there would be a new title in a popular book series. What is the series? One of Sam's favourites.
You literally stole that joke from me. One of Josh's favourites. And just keep your answers simple as well for that one, I should say.
As always.
Yeah. Question 2 is a multiple choice question. So 2 of these quotes are from rap music and one is from Shakespeare. We want to know which one. So should we alternate?
Let's. Yeah. So A was, maybe it's hatred I spew, maybe it's food for the spirit.
B, the most benevolent king communicates through your dreams.
And C, I was not born under a rhyming planet.
Fascinating stuff. That. So yeah, which one? And as ever, just the letter, please, on the answer form. Give you a few more moments to read through that because there's quite a lot of text. So there you go. All right. Think that's enough time, so Josh?
Question 3 is, as always, our celebrity question. So, take it away.
Hello everybody, thank you for supporting the Big Quarantine Quiz. My question is, 2 of the main characters in All Creatures Great and Small were called Siegfried and Tristan. Which opera composer inspired their names? Good luck. Enjoy the rest of the quiz.
So that was Peter Davison, the English actor. He became famous as Tristan Farnan on All Creatures Great and Small and was actually the 5th Doctor Who. So there you go. More recently, he's been in stuff like Law and Order and The Last Detective. And he's actually father-in-law as well to one of last week's guests, David Tennant.
I know we have at least a couple Peter Davidson fans in the chat.
Yeah, who were quite active on Twitter, so really hope you enjoyed that one.
So get active in the chat.
Particularly tough question there from Mr. Davison, but there you go.
Question 4. What was the Gruffalo most scared of? And throwing it back to some children's books.
As with last week.
As we did last week.
Classic book you've all read, probably. Or at least if you're in the UK. I'll take this one.
Yeah,
the record for the most Laurence Olivier Awards ever received by a musical is tied with 2 recent productions, both receiving 7 awards each, including Best New Musical. Name one of them. And there's no prizes for both, so if you're confident with one answer, please just write that. If you write both, you'll get 0.
Going to question 6. Which play did Benedict Cumberbatch star in, recently broadcast for free online by the National Theatre? Don't know if I said that with the right...
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Recently made as the National Theatre are publishing or streaming productions for free. And this one was done last week and watched by thousands of people. And it's one of his most famous stage roles. Benedict Cumberbatch, of course, a friend of the show. Who was on in week 2. So if you missed his appearance, you can after this you can look at the second video on this channel and see that.
Going on to question 7, which is yet another celebrity question.
Our final
We're
celebrity
really
question.
spoiling you this week. Take it away.
Hello, this is Tamsin Gregg. That was my dog running away because she's a bit scared of my actual voice. Welcome to the big quiz. Hope you're having fun. I have one question for you. The question is, what is the longest play that Shakespeare ever wrote? I'm terrible at quizzes, so I hope you're much better than I don't even know the answer to this one. I do. Have fun and donate if you can. Thanks.
So that was English actress, narrator and comedian Tamsin Gregg. She starred in a number of popular TV programmes, including Belgravia, Episodes, and, of course, Friday Night Dinner.
Of course.
And she is an esteemed stage actress who has won a Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actress. She's also been the voice of Debbie Aldridge on The Archers since 1991. So shout out to Granny and Grandad for that.
And Dad, who's actually also a massive fan of The Archers as well.
Fanatic.
So there you go. I'm still not actually sure if she did know the answer to that question from the way she submitted it. But, but there you go. Shalom Jackie in the chat. And 3 questions to go. You almost made it. Question 8.
Who wrote the Just So stories? Not sure if you can hear, but Monty's scratching himself near the microphone, so...
Right underneath the microphone. Hopefully he doesn't knock it over. Okay, the second last question of the Big Quarantine Quiz week 4 is, in George Orwell's Animal Farm, what was the name of the pig leader? Ooh. You lie down.
Yeah, there you go.
Good boy. Monty's a dog, by the way. I've been told to clarify that. Okay, he's right. Okay, he's here. Okay, so there you go. I'm sure you've all read that one in school. What was the name of the pig leader?
Our final question of this week's quiz is a picture question, and we want to know which musical this is. Pictured on the left.
Final picture, round 2. We may show Monty right before the break in case something goes wrong and we have to fix it. Okay, I think we should have a review. Oh, we're not even taking a review. Oh, sorry, taking a break. We'll do it at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question 1. Announce this week which popular series is to receive a new title. Sounds favourite.
Good one. Question 2. Which quote is from Shakespeare?
A, maybe it's hatred I spew. Maybe it's food for the spirit.
B, the most benevolent king communicates through your dreams.
Or C, I was not born under a rhyming planet.
Question 3. Which opera composer inspired the names of Siegfried and Tristan Farnan?
Question 4. What was the Gruffalo most scared of?
Question 5. 2 musicals have received 7 Olivier Awards, including Best New Musical. Name one of them. They're both quite recent, and we only need one.
Question 6. Which National Theatre play did Benedict Cumberbatch star in? Recently broadcast for free online.
What is the longest play that Shakespeare ever wrote?
Who wrote the Just So stories?
Question 9. What was the name of the pig leader in Animal Farm?
And which musical is pictured bottom right?
So there you go. So make sure you've submitted your answers. And also making sure that your team name matches, as ever. And we'll be giving you the final scores very shortly. But we're going to go through the answers first. I think we might try and get Monty up on the screen, shall we? Oh, here he is. Looking comfortable. So there you go. He doesn't know what's going on. Okay. So the answers to the US... Oh, sorry. That's wrong.
Yeah.
The answers to round 5 and 6, general knowledge in theatre and literature.
I never rang the bell.
Oh, ring the bell, sorry. Go.
Well, seems a bit fruitless now.
Well, that was a good catch because we were about to put answer number 1 up on the screen. But I'm sure you all knew it anyway. The first answer to round 5 was Elon Musk.
Who's recently had a kid.
Named X-A12. Probably one of the most original and strangest names of a baby I've ever heard.
I know A12 was after his favourite aeroplane, which is a very original thing to call a child.
Okay, question 2. Your answer was mascarpone.
Question 3 was Nepal, one of Joanna Lumley's favourite places.
Answer number 4 was Vogue. There you go. Dame Judi there.
Who is 85 years old.
Monty's finally left, that's good. Okay. The 5th answer to round 5 was Postman.
Question 6. The answer was the Czech Republic.
As you can see there, by quite some distance. Pilsner is, of course, a Czech beer. And beer in Czech Republic is actually often cheaper than coffee or sometimes even bottled water, so that could explain it.
Question 7. The answer was an apple. Hard one, that.
It was. That was Ainsley Harriot's question. We will wait and see if Team Ainsley Harriot got that question correct or not. The 8th answer was Guinness. Sorry, was a harp. The question was about Guinness.
You're allowed to see it. Okay, question 9 was vodka.
There you go.
There you go.
One of your favourites.
Yeah, amen to that.
And the final answer of round 5 was, Josh?
An egret.
Awesome. I wasn't entirely sure on the pronunciation
Yeah.
of that. So. And going into the last round, with Addy still looking quite nervous about doing the scoring. Answer number 1 was one of Josh's favourites, Twilight.
Answer number 2, I've given up at this point, was C. I was not born under a rhyming planet. A was actually Jay-Z and B was Wu-Tang Clan.
There you go. A lot of love for Monty. Good to see. The third answer was from a question from Peter Davison, and the answer was Richard Wagner.
Flawless pronunciation.
A stressful one. I'm told if you know anything about opera, according to Dad, you will know the answer to that one. So no pressure on there.
Question 4. The Gruffalo is actually scared of a mouse.
Of course, classically. The fifth answer of round 10 was either Hamilton or Matilda. I'm sure a lot of you put Hamilton, but you could have had Matilda as well.
Question 6. The answer was Frankenstein. There you can see Bender Cumberbatch all in hair and makeup.
There he is in 2011.
You hate to see it, but Ainsley actually got it wrong. So we're gonna. It's safe to assume that it's not the real Ainsley Harriott.
That's right. He'll probably watch the whole thing on repeat anyway. And answer number 7 was Hamlet. It's over 30,000 words. So there you go.
Question 8. The answer was Rudyard Kipling. His stories include How the Camel Got His Hump and How the Elephant Got His Trunk.
And moving swiftly on to the last 2, you could have had Napoleon for... That's all you could have had for the 9th question.
Question 10, our final question, was the Book of Mormon. Yeah.
So there you go. And with Monty edging ever closer, we are now going to give you the final scores.
Just.
Ali, come on, we need you.
Yeah, no, I'm on like 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Do you want to tell a joke?
Yeah, we're here apparently. The Hefts have shown up, which is good. I assume that's Cochin, Wizzy, and potentially more. Unfortunately, I think they missed the first round, so they're not going to be on the total scores, but shout out to them. And a shout out to my dear friend Jack Bullitt, who I know very well and personally, and am hugely close to, so I'm compensating for... There you go, okay, right, scores. Welcome, Addy.
Hi. Do the thing. Yeah, thanks. So that was.
Oh no. Should say rounds 5 and 6, as with last week.
Oh, damn. I'll just.
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
No,
Okay. All right. Never mind. It's 12.10 average score, which is the lowest so far. We're looking at the top. Addy's Amigos back on top, along with Team Rocket, the champions from last week, and the Portaloos, which
assume the Porters.
I think is the Porters.
God. The Maddox as well. Quiz Fiends, I'm told. And the Toilet Destroyer.
A bit too much.
Okay.
We look again. That's how many people got points. You'd think I'd think of something to say about this,
A lot of
but
people clustered around the middle.
yeah. Right, total scores. This is the final reveal.
Man, Granny and Grandad
Drum roll,
didn't back
please.
themselves to submit on rounds 5 and 6. That's a shame.
They didn't submit.
Yeah, I know, I can see that. Gutting.
Right, let's go. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So in first place is Addy's Amigos with 56 points, followed by joint second Homda Refuse and the Weevils in second place, and Lat Yats in third place with 50. So good job to everyone.
Massive performance from Addy's Amigos there. I
It
think you can
is.
also, if we slowly scroll down
Yeah,
to the next 25,
then you'll be
you
able
can
to
see where you were. Welsh Wanderers
yourself.
FC on 26th place. They came 33rd last week, so that's a slight improvement.
Fish cake place, please.
Carlos on 36 as well. Oh, Hefs did play the whole round.
Good job.
Just didn't hear from them because they were so far down the leaderboard.
Ainsley Harriott in 50th place.
Oh.
Disappointing.
Space La Poubelle coming in as well.
Granny and Grandad coming in with 4.
Yes.
A strong score nonetheless.
It's a shame. It's a shame, but
Okay.
cool.
Well, that concludes
This week's quiz.
week 4, really. As ever, If you can spare a small amount, that would be fantastic, and it's obviously going to a great cause, which is still just as relevant as ever. The description has the link at the top. So there you go. And other than that,
it's goodbye for this week.
Bye.
It's bye from me.
Bye from me.
And finally, bye from me.
And
we will be back next week at 7:45, same time.
We're not sure how long we're going to keep doing this for, but we absolutely will be back next week at the same time. And we've got a few pretty big surprises as well already lined up for that. So you'd be mad to miss it.
And
with
from
that,
us,
now it's goodbye from us.
Goodbye.